أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين. So first of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, respected brothers and sisters. This is the I think the 9th session of us, and we have finished the second chapter on the existence of God and the Tawheed, the oneness of God. And I suggested, Sayyid, I thought that we can have a Q&A session at the final session of the chapter. And before that, before I hear your questions, inshallah, and if I am able to answer one of those questions, inshallah, I want to just review our journey from the beginning until now. So if you remember, we started from this point, that why religion? Why anyone needs to subscribe to a religion? Why religion is something important in our lives? Why the religion is necessary for us? And we talked about this issue in 3 sessions, if I remember correctly, 3 sessions. And then we said, okay, yes, for that, social life with real peace and real justice and real freedom, we need a revelation, comes from somewhere above the intellect and experience of the mankind. Then we said we want to talk about Islam. The second step is Islam and what Islam really is. Many people talk about Islam. Many people hate Islam. Many people love Islam. Many of those medias talk about Islam. They always want to resemble Islam to the terrorism, and about that and whatnot. We wanted to know what is the reality and the essence of Islam. So we started our discussion from the Tawheed. From the Tawheed, the most important pillar in the Islamic thoughts. And we said everything in Islamic theology, in Islamic worldview, especially according to the Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim ajma'in, to the Shia school of thought, everything, every element of our religion, of our denomination, goes back to Tawheed. Begins with Tawheed and goes back to Tawheed. And inshallah, in the following and upcoming sessions, I will talk about those, other pillars of Islam and how those pillars return to Tawheed and begin from Tawheed. And at first, when I wanted to talk about the Tawheed, I said that we need to get rid of some conception which is always used to defy the existence of God and defy any transcendental issue involved. And that was the scientific worldview. We wanted to talk about the science and its measure, its territory. We wanted to know how much science can talk, how much science can offer to us. And we said it was a long journey. I'm just reviewing that journey. And we said that scientific worldview cannot even talk about the existence of God, cannot prove the existence of God or disprove the existence of God. Science can just talk about the matter, the materialistic world, nothing more. And scientific worldview is even unable to prove its basic statement, its basic proposition. And we talked about that. So science cannot claim that the only reality in this world is the thing that we can experience or we can feel in the labs or anywhere like that. And then after we talked about the scientific worldview, we said, okay, so science with its, all its good offerings to the mankind and its services, and we respect that, science must stick to the scientific issues. It must stick to the worldly issues and materialistic issues. And when we want to talk about the Tawheed, the existence of God, the prophethood, and things like that, we need to use our intellect. And we need to, see that can we, by any means, prove the existence of, an upper and higher being in this world. It was the time that we talked about the existence of God. And we said that we have too many arguments, and I picked the argument of Abu Ali Sina, an intellectual argument without any doubt that can easily and completely prove the existence of God. And then we said that the necessary being, the being that doesn't need anyone to give him the existence, has some, attributes, has some characteristics. One of those attributes and characteristics was what? Was that the necessary being has no components, has no elements, has no portions. It was why we said that the origin of this world cannot be the matter or any materialistic, thing. This cannot be the origin of this universe, because all the materialistic world and all aspects of this materialistic world has components and is confined by time and space, at least. Then we said, so the necessary being that we could prove must be something above the materialistic world. And then we said that this is the same argument that leads us that the necessary being must be just one. It cannot be more than one. It cannot be, we can't have, 2, 3, 4, 6, necessary beings. Not. No, it's just the one necessary being, and it was the argument which could prove the existence of one God and Tawheed. Okay, that was the end point. And then we said that the next step would be about the essence of the humanity and the human being. And there we, inshallah, will talk about the prophethood and what is a prophet. What is the message of a prophet? What is the prophethood? What is the difference between me and Prophet Nuh? Between me and Prophet Musa and Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Jesus and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What makes a man a prophet? What is the journey of a man that, that man should take to reach the level of the prophethood? And inshallah, we will talk about this in the upcoming sessions. And then we will talk about the imamah, the other pillar of the Islamic school of thought, especially the Shi'i school of thought. Okay, but tonight we have, inshallah, Q&A, and we can discuss the issues that we talked about or anything else if I'm able, and if I had the knowledge to answer, inshallah, I try to do my best.